And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, February the 18th, 2023, Season 17, Episode number 6. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I got to clap the board to get that out of the way.
Good job.
Yeah, I know. Butterflies up until I get it done. So nervous. People watching. And I gotta clap the board. Anyway, welcome to the show. We've been away for 2 weeks. So, what changed? Not much. With us. Plenty of things changed in the gaming world. If you want to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. You can check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at ingamechat. You can also find us on Facebook there as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We are streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv. Search bar, in-game chat. Just type that in. You'll find us. You'll find the logo. You click on that. You'll be able to see us, watch us live while we broadcast. You can join in the chat room there with everybody and chat with them, chat with us, or you can join our Discord. There's a link there to our website. If you go to ingamechat.net, scroll all the way to the bottom. It's one of those websites that keeps feeding the bottom, so you got to just keep going. But when you get to the bottom, you'll see links to how you can, get in touch with us. Our emails, our Twitch channel link is there, but our Discord link is there. Sign up with Discord, and then you can chat with us on the air. If you would like to do that, or you can send us messages and type into our message boards that we got set up there as well, talking about gaming things. So, plenty of ways to interact with the show, or plenty of ways to enjoy the show in alternate ways, I guess would be a way to put it. I don't know. Anyway, welcome in. How have you been? You were, RJ, you went to a convention there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the picture you sent me of the pinball room.
Yeah, we had a little video game room there, and I had a bunch of classic titles.
So there were others. Yeah. So there were arcade machines there too, like
arcade
cabinets,
music rhythm games from Japan mostly.
Yeah,
but there were some classics there. You had Donkey Kong. I remember playing that, trying to remember the tips and tricks in there, and it was coming to me as I was playing. So still got it up there. But the pinball thing, I knew you'd get a kick out of, and they had one you didn't recognize it called Fire.
Fire.
Yeah, based on a fire department, old wagon wheel fire department.
Did it have a year on? Well, you know what? I can just. I think
it was 87. The copyright.
Really?
I think the copyright was on 87.
It did not look like an 87 pinball machine. It looked older than that, but from just the photo and the fact that I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
That I know of. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah,
and then they had both Black Knight and Black Knight 2000.
Yeah. So kept hearing the 80s pop with "Give Me Your Money" type thing. So that was a nice little thing. I don't think I've ever played that though. But
the Black Knight,
Black Knight
tables,
either one. But It was the most popular
Yeah.
of the three.
I can imagine that it would be. Black Knight is very popular, and the Black Knight 2000 very popular tables whenever they're around. So, Fire was probably the one that people played while they waited to play Black Knight.
Yeah,
Is my guess. That's probably likely how it would go.
yeah. It wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't a bad table. It just didn't take long to figure out where I needed to go. Had some things missing there. I think they featured a window to shoot the ball through. Like if someone needed to rescue from a building, then the window opened up, you got to shoot the ball through there to get them out of there.
Okay.
But the thing was missing, so I'm thinking agent attrition just couldn't get it replaced. After
There's that.
So, yeah.
What did you play up there? Did you get into any tournaments?
The tournament was it was a weird thing about the tournaments.
Kind of disappointed in that.
Yeah,
I think
not
right?
a lot of turnout.
You didn't go for the tournaments.
I went for the convention, but I wanted to play in the tournaments.
Right?
But
Yeah.
Not a lot of people showed up for the tournaments.
So you win by default?
Yeah, but no, the local crowd didn't show up there. There was some folks from Georgia that came for some of the tournaments, and
where was it at?
It was at the BJCC in Birmingham.
Oh, it was in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I thought this was in Atlanta for some reason.
No, this is the Comic-Con's always in mid-February, early February. I think probably the second, third weekend of February every year. So that's when it usually takes place. But yeah, the turnout was pretty low for some of the titles. One had only 2 people show up, and they didn't have one for Street Fighter V. I found that interesting. The last hurrah for 5 until 6 comes out in June, I believe. I would think you get all the Street Fighter V tournaments you can in there, but for some reason they did not have 5 available. They couldn't run. They didn't run a tournament for it. Smash, of course, went, but King of Fighters had a few. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure had some. Guilty Gear, Strive, had a showing there, and I didn't know they were going to have one for Ultra Street Fighter 4. I didn't know they were going to have that, but they had something like that too. So, yeah, just not a lot of big turnout for the big titles, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, and I believe Tekken 7 was okay as well. So,
all right,
yeah,
Tekken 7, but no Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
Okay, give us the sad updated news. This is a computer processor. That, by the way, I know he's probably not watching. His wife might be watching, but Alan, thank you for letting us borrow this.
Very much appreciated, yes.
What is this? There we go. Hang on. It's an i5, looks like a 4570. And where is... Man, it had the socket number on it somewhere. I thought it did. God, my eyes are horrible. Anyway, this is compatible with your motherboard. You tried it.
Yeah.
Absolutely no results.
No difference. Still got the same on and off reaction. So we've tried everything. We've gone bare bones minimum. This piece out, switched the RAM, took the RAM out, and the same issue is still showing up. And it wasn't anything that I changed anything. It was just one day I was up and running on the computer, and all of a sudden it just cut itself off. And that's when the problem started. No update, no program switch, nothing installed recently. It's just off. And then when I tried to put it back on, wouldn't pop up. And then the on and off situation happened the next day, and couldn't figure it out. It had to be at this point I'm thinking a short or something.
Yeah, see, now I'm wondering if it's in the power button of if it's the case
itself.
The case that runs all the wires to
yeah. That's the only option.
Which I'm only just because I was telling Wendy about this before I left, that it was no luck there, and that you might as well start a new build and what you were going to do. And now I'm thinking, well, wait a second, what if it's in the cables that are in the case?
The cable that came with the case itself. Hardwired in the case. Yeah.
What if it's that? That's stupid to try. Now you're basically trying to fix this is going to result in you building a new one anyway.
Yeah.
Because all the different parts you've bought or borrowed to try and see if this makes a difference, you practically built a brand new PC. What are you going to do? The world wants to know.
Research. Look how much building a new PC is going to cost. Because I don't do like top of the line things. I go with back a few generations, and anything better than what I got now, probably at a pretty reasonable price.
You're in pretty good. I mean, you've got a power supply that works. You've got a graphics card that's fine. You do have a motherboard, although that motherboard kind of restricts you into a certain level of processors.
Yeah.
And slightly in a certain zone of the RAM, but you could get another motherboard, get a new processor. Your RAM is probably fine, and the weird thing will be is if you do all of that, hook it up into your case, and then it still gives you the same problem. That is a very long way to go about saying I think it's your case, but that's a lot of trouble only to run into the problem again.
Yeah.
Although, should you do that, I mean, obviously, I think it would be the case would be the right call on that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You have to just get the case and do it that way.
You don't have a spare case sitting around, do you? And by spare, I mean like another case that you'd have to rip all the junk out of and then put that in there.
I do, but I don't know if it would fit. It's an old case, very old case.
How do you mean fit? Is the motherboard too big?
Might be. I don't know.
I mean, I just
have to.
You could workbench it. You could workbench it as far as just kind of leave the guts hanging out because it doesn't fit in the machine, just to see if it actually posts. Using that case, and then maybe that tells you that it's the case problem. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But
I can't figure out what else it could be, man.
We tried everything else. It would be we said the process was the last option, so this is another last option.
Well, I mean, when you get down to it, and then it's like, well, then let's start. Man,
never experienced this before. You?
I have never experienced this, but not without it being something that was
immediately fixable.
Kind of an obvious thing, like it's the power supply, or it's this. I've never run into that before.
Yeah.
And I hope the hell I don't. But yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah, look, man, we just adjust. That's all.
I know. Yeah. But it's still.
But I got an old case. Like I said, it's an old case, but maybe.
Honestly, the guy that lets you borrow this processor probably has an old case. He could let you borrow too, and then you could try that. We're all curious as to how to fix it. We're all curious as to okay, where's the issue? Where's the problem? And my next guess is the case.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, I don't know where I go with it.
Starting from scratch. If that's
I don't know. Like, what if it's what if you get a new case, you put everything back in, it's like, nope, still doing it.
Yeah.
Where is that gremlin?
I mean, I was looking at cases from a PC parts picker, and I was looking at all these things. My goodness, it's been a long time since I've had to look at a case, because I'm looking at Leon Lee and all these other manufacturers that I've never heard of before, never had to look for.
I had never heard of Leon Lee before I started my new build. I say my new build, but my build in 2020, I'd never heard of the brand before.
Yeah.
I had also not built a computer in 10, 12 years.
Right.
So I really hadn't looked around for it. And then I'm like, God, there's a lot of stuff. There were names I knew, like Thermaltake, and then there's Cooler Master, and there's Fractal. There were names that I knew. Leon Lee was brand new, and I didn't know anything about it. But browsing Reddit, people showing their builds and things like that, I saw the fishbowl case, which they've got even better fishbowl cases now. But I saw the fishbowl case, the way they had lit it up and everything else, and I was like, "What is that? Oh, it's Leon Lee." Okay, and that's when I jumped on the Leon Lee hype train.
Yeah,
and now I have Leon Lee parts all in my build.
Yeah,
the case is Leon Lee, the fans are Leon Lee, the AIO is Leon Lee, the LED motherboard cable is Leon Lee, so that it can light up.
Yeah,
because I'm that kind of person. So yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, I'm a brand loyalist, I suppose.
Yeah, well, whatever works.
Well, whatever. I mean, first off, it all goes together. When you get that uniform. Because if I had bought not an IQ, but a Corsair, I'd have probably gone with the Corsair brand of fans and everything else. I just love the way that the Lian Li fans worked. The and I'm slipping my mind as far as what the name is, but we've posted them in there, and they've got newer versions of those fans as well. But it all kind of meshes together, and it has the same aesthetic with the fans. As much as you can keep them that way. If Lian Li made Ram, I might have bought it. As it is, though, it's oh crap! What is it Trident? Trident Z, I believe, is the RAM stuff that I've got in there. I think. I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah, I was looking at the case and I was thinking, where's my optical drives going to go? Where's my? Oh
yeah, well, no, we don't do that anymore.
Well, I still do. So
we don't do optical drives anymore. Now you may find, I'm sure there's cases out there that will let you do that.
Yeah.
But it's I'm sure you can find them. But most people have switched over to either having an external optical drive that's plugged in USB, or just not using optical drives at all. So, the days of hard copies are going away. So, yep. Same thing with printers, although we still need them for things, obviously.
Yeah.
But a lot of things just go straight to your phone. You hold the phone up to wherever you're at. They scan the thing. There it is. You don't have to bring in paper anymore. So, ain't technology. Oh, NZXT. Yeah. Bama Bryan in the chat room mentions NZXT. Also says, could it be grounding out on the case somewhere? I say possible, but given how many times he has unplugged things and plugged things back in and changed things, and the fact that it just started doing this.
Yeah. Like I said, it was just sitting at their normal computer operation. And all of a sudden, it just cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when the problem started.
And you switched out power supplies, and it still gave you the same problem.
Still got the same result.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a mystery for the ages.
Tested the supplies. Had a power tester. Tested all the connections to it, and it was fine all the way. So if it's not the case, I have literally no idea what else it could be.
Well, my money's on the case now.
Yeah, because we tried everything.
Everything
else.
I'm on the case. Did you play anything? I mean, other than the maybe gearing up for the tournament stuff that never happened.
I did play a little Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 while I was in the room waiting.
One of our favorites, you and I.
Yeah, had a little good time with that. It was like doing some of the things I haven't cleaned up yet. So it was nice getting back to the swing of things. I still have issues catching the ghosts when I get the power pellet in. I mean,
it's
the way they hit
pattern.
those lines.
You gotta follow the pattern.
Yeah, but by the time I get the pattern, there's a blockage in there, and I gotta wait till the next go around.
And there's different patterns based on which game you play. If you're playing Championship DX or Championship DX Plus or whatever the thing is, there's different patterns.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, you see the route they're going to take. It's just getting there with the lead ghost, trying to catch the lead ghost without hitting the trail that's behind it.
Folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, Pac-Man Championship Edition, and if you've never played that, I know we have a lot of people here or a lot of people listening who only just kind of keep us on in the background, slightly paying attention to what we're saying. Pac-Man rings a bell in their ear. They know Pac-Man.
Right.
You know Pac-Man. The version that we're talking about is this it's a score chaser. That's what it is. So you are constantly going for a higher score than you did before. And you have different modes, a 5-minute version and a 10-minute version. Right? Am I correct on that? So, I mean, it's all set in stone as far as like, it's not one of those things where you just play until you die. Yes, you do. You do have lives, but you have 5 minutes to get the highest score you can, or you have 10 minutes to get the highest score you can. Right. And it gets frantic. If you never thought, boy, what could they ever do to Pac-Man? It's just the most simplest thing. How could they ever, what could they do to make this better? They've nailed the formula. No. The original creator did this, and it's amazing.
Yep.
It is amazing. Like how you thought, man, what could they do to Pac-Man to entice me back? There it is.
I think, to put it this way, it's how frantic it is. It can get so fast on a lot of people that they put brakes on on Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah. You got to slow them down.
You got to slow them down. And sometimes it gets so hectic, you hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it'll help you avoid ghosts when they're angry and can kill you. But sometimes it helps you get your bearings back so you can catch up to the action. Because it does get very hectic very quickly.
That it does. Great game there. So, yeah, some Pac-Man Championship Edition. Anything else?
Just more Warframe and Virtua Fighter 5.
Okay.
I'm still trying to up my fight count in VF. Still have a lot of people in the double-digit thousands of matches, and I think I've gotten to 550 under my belt. I just got to pick that up. Finding matches here and there, so slowly but surely, I'll get there.
I have been playing Destiny, of course. It's just what I do. That's just the life. I'm almost done with my seasons. I actually finished up all my challenges this morning. The only two things I've got left to do are my Grandmaster Nightfalls, which are very difficult Nightfalls. Take about 25 to 30 minutes to do one of those if you're on your toes with it.
Yeah.
You can actually make them shorter. You can do speed runs if you're, again, on your toes with it. But I got two of those left to finish. And after that, I have some bounties I want to bank next week that don't rotate in until next week anyway. And so I'll pick those up on all three characters, run those bounties and bank them, hold on to them until Tuesday week when Lightfall finally releases. Which, man, it's interesting to see how they're moving the story forward. A story that began in 2014, almost 10 years ago.
Hey, 10-year plan.
Exactly. A story that began almost 10 years ago. Massive movements in that story happened this week. I don't know if you saw any of that. There's a cutscene to finish out this season. Rather big.
Okay.
Rather big deals going on in the Destinies. Changing things. The tower is different now.
Well, I would think with the name of this new expansion, something major is happening anyway.
Yeah, okay, fine. Let me give you the name of the final expansion, of the one that comes after Lightfall.
All right.
It's called The Final Shape. No clue, right? What does that mean?
Final Shape of the Traveler.
Maybe? Round? Is it gonna...
broken.
That's very true.
That thing could look like the Death Star by the time you're all said and done.
It's got a little wear and tear. From what I understand, rumor is that one of the raids that we're getting next with this next expansion takes place inside the Traveler. I don't know how. I don't know what's inside the Traveler, but apparently we're going to find out.
Well, they'll make it up.
They will. Anyway, big doings in Destiny as far as story is concerned. They're moving this thing along to kind of get to the end at Final Shape, and then they call that the end of their light dark saga, their lightness, their darkness saga. Which I don't know if that means that they've got another saga planned, or if they're going to. I don't know what they're going to do, and I also don't know what that means for me. I don't know if once Final Shape is released and I go through the year of whatever that is and I finish it out, I don't know what they've got in store. And I also don't know what I've got in store for it. Am I going to count that as my end? Am I going to count that as like, well, there we go. 10-year plan for them, 10-year plan for me. I'm good. I kind of want to do that. I kind of feel like that's when I'll push the plate away from the table and say, no more. But I don't know, because I'm curious as to what they're going to do to entice me to keep playing.
Well, if they come up with a Destiny 3, are you in for that?
They've been very, very... I don't want to say they've been very adamant about it, but a lot of people don't ask him the question about Destiny 3 because they've said each time they've been asked that they don't think there will ever be a Destiny 3. In fact, mostly there doesn't need to be a Destiny 2. They just need to drop the 2, call it Destiny, and let it live on forever that way. They are working on a new IP for some point in the future, and I don't even know what kind of IP it is. I don't know if it's a shooter. I don't know if it's an RP. I don't know what it is. I have no clue.
Right.
But they are working on a new IP, and I don't know what comes after Final Shape. I really don't. That is next year. This time next year is when that final expansion will release, and I'll play through that, and I'll probably through that year, and see what they do. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to keep expanding upon it? Maybe not story-wise, but content-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's all going to shape up. I'm very curious as to how it's going to work, but don't know.
Well, if this is the last hurrah for Destiny, I mean, it's been 10 years. They better have a really good ending in here. Don't have some haphazard rush job.
Yeah.
Do something. You've had 10 years. You better not have a rush job at the end of this.
I would like to see some major, like if this is gonna be where they end this saga.
Right.
If this is also going to be the end of my saga as well with it, then I'd like to see some shakeups. I'm perfectly fine with some characters being killed off. Taking one for the team as far as a story is concerned.
Well, one with impact because
it does need to have impact
because Cade's had none for me. Because look, Cade 6, so he's done this 5 times before. So his passing really didn't have an impact. Well, just make it 7.
Well, that may be something that they shake up with, and they bring him back for that. But I know Cade 6 death didn't have any impact there. Although the story, as slow as it is, kept moving forward with. Well, he's called Crow now.
Yeah.
But oh God, what was his name back then? You would have a better memory of it than I would because I've heard him called Crow now forever.
I can't think of it actually.
Anyway, the queen's brother.
Yeah.
Queen Morosov's brother. Oh man, why is it going away from me? Anyway, point being, his story continued because he's the one that killed Cade.
Right.
And then somebody killed him. We don't know if it was us or if it was Petra, one of the soldiers of the queen.
Yeah.
We don't know who it was because the screen goes black and all you hear is a gunshot.
Yeah.
And so you don't know who did what. But then a ghost resurrected Crow, like he would resurrect any of the other Guardians. Except he'd had no memory of what he was or anything like that. And he talked about him getting weird looks in the tower because everybody knows what he did. But they've all been told, like, this is not the same guy because he doesn't remember any of those things. That guy is dead. This is someone new. So, like, his story kept going. And it kept going for a good bit there because he started making moves in other story branches based on the fact that he felt like, I am a Guardian now. This is what I should do. Or I've seen this happen before with these because I used to be that person. From what everybody's told me, I was a different person. I was whatever. So I'm going to try and make amends with what I did by taking the initiative to do something else, be it a mistake or being a rash decision or something like that. So it's interesting how they've kind of kept that going, not for anything that is very significant. I can't tell you that this is one of those things where it's like, oh man, you've got to play this to get that. No. You can get the story of the past 14 years in probably a good 30-minute recap. Maybe. Might be less than that. Because these story beats were drips. They were drip feeds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like you're going to play a while, here's a little bit of story. You're going to play a long time, here's a little bit of story for you. Except now, when they give us a little bit of story, it's a big impact on whatever's going on. Such is the case with what we got with the season closer for this recent one.
Yeah.
A little bit of story. I mean, we've been playing all year, and a little bit of story. Oh, whoa, that's big, you know?
Yeah.
Very, very, very big. So, and it makes a nice callback to the very first Destiny 1, I guess you could say. Actually, it makes a nice callback to the key art image of Destiny 1 that is on like boxes, cover boxes, and everything else. It was interesting to see. So, anyway, doing the Destiny thing. Almost done, ready for Lightfall. I got my Lightfall Special Edition in while we were on our away time, and it came with a nice little shiny ghost and everything else. So about the only thing I spend money on collector's editions anymore is for the Destiny stuff. Yeah. And that's about to wrap up for me because I've got one more expansion to buy I suppose that'll come with something. I don't know. But maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know? Who knows? Uldren Sov, that's who it is. Marasov's brother, Uldren Sov. Uldren, that is who it is. Thank you, Bama Brian. I know you probably had to Google that, but I appreciate it. So anyway, Destiny I played. What else did I play? Me and Wendy, well, I finished God of War.
Okay.
Did I talk about that?
Did you find those little spots you were...
Did I finish God of War? I finished God of War before we left, right? Before we took 2 weeks off.
I recall you thinking about two little spots on the map you couldn't get to. It was like you were like at 98% and had those two little spots you couldn't get to.
Yeah. I got to them.
You ever got to them? Okay, you got to them. Yeah.
I did get to those two little spots. I basically wrapped up the game. There is one really tough fight that I have left.
So why is it tough? Is it because you're under leveled, or it's just a difficult tactical match?
It's a very difficult match. I mean, you are under leveled, but I'm not sure there is a point at which you could be over leveled to do this thing.
Okay.
Because your weapons...
Are they maxed out yet?
Right, exactly. Two of them are... I have 3 weapons. 2 of them are maxed out. One of them is not. Right. One of them is 1 level away from being maxed out.
Okay.
Which, honestly, if I get that next level by defeating this last person, seems pointless. Because it's like, I could have used that when I was fighting this person. I don't understand why. Again, it's video game logic. Why give me the goods at the end of the game when I can't use them? Why not give them to me when I've got more game to play so I can, have fun using that power, using those level skills or whatever it is.
New game and New Game Plus.
Yeah, but that's not me.
But that's
most of the time.
But that's not the setting for God of War.
Yeah, it's
that's
also
that's the setting for the Soul series.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But it's also I don't think any game should really do that, unless of course there's new stuff to find in a New Game Plus. Like, now that you're this level, you can make it to this area of the map in your New Game Plus. Sure, that's fine. I'm leveled out. I mean, there's no place left for me to go. And yeah, I have. There's 2 or 3 things left for me to do. One is this fight that I was telling you about that I'm overleveled.
Right.
There's another one called the Crucible, which sounds a lot like a Destiny thing, but it's basically where
sounds like Horde mode.
It is kind of.
Yeah.
You go into an arena, you fight, that sort of thing. There's based on...
That is Destiny. The Crucible.
Yeah. That's PvP.
Yeah.
The Crucible in God of War is an arena that you go into, and they're different arenas. There's one that just gives you wave after wave until you die.
Right.
And then there's another one that gives you a time limit to kill as much as you can in a certain amount of time.
Okay.
I don't like either of those. And so I ain't playing any of those. Yeah. I'm not doing it. There's 3 different versions of the Crucible that they have, and on the checklist, there's 15 objectives for them. Not each, but like in total. Yeah. There's 15 objectives. And I'm just
5
not...
for each mode?
Yeah, I'm just not down for it. I don't even want to mess around with it. So I've got that fight to do, and that is and if I wanted to do the Crucible, that would be it.
Yeah.
I believe that's all I have left if I went back to look at the map, but I think I'm done. I think I am absolutely done. And
any trophies for those Crucible things?
Oh yeah.
Don't want those?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not a trophy hunter.
Okay.
I'm really not. If the trophies are convenient after I've finished what I've been doing, and there's like something left there to like, if there's a trophy for start the Crucible, and that keeps me from being a platinum on this thing, well, I'll start the Crucible.
Yeah.
I just won't finish it, but I'll do it. But so it depends on the convenience. Depends on what I want to put into it.
Right.
So finished up God of War. Talked about that. We started playing Alan Wake. Wendy's not fond of it. I am not. This is the remastered version. It was all right. But even on easy, I was having the worst time. Like, I just wanted to go through it to show her the story of Alan Wake. It was a story I really enjoyed.
Right.
But as I was playing through it, I was like, I don't want to do this. We got through it.
Like a chore?
It felt annoying. And I don't know if that's because I was coming off of God of War, but it just felt annoying.
Or were you remembering elements of when you first played Alan Wake?
Oh, I totally remembered elements of when I first played it, because it was brand new to me. And so going back through it a second time like this, I'm often left with just like, oh yeah, this is annoying. I don't like this. Like the gameplay, the combat of it.
Okay.
Not a fan of that.
Yeah, because I was just about to ask you what changed from your
Well,
first time.
which is why I
playing
put
through
it on easy, thinking I'll just breeze through this.
Right.
No, I died a few times while on easy mode, and I'm just like, ugh. I don't want to. This is not something I wanted to get frustrated over. I wanted to play for your story, not for not for my skill.
Did they crank up the difficulty? You think? Or just
I mean, it's on easy mode. I don't know.
Still, I mean, some the easy mode is not the same depending on the game.
I know.
One game's easy mode is not another one's easy
Well,
mode.
we finished chapter 1, and we have not really talked about going back into chapter 2. I know there's 5 chapters, but we're kind of just
and Alan Wake is a series I've yet to play. I think I've got it on Steam, but
you may have it on not PS Plus. I was thinking it might be on PS Plus, but it's not.
I probably got it on Steam.
That's where I first played it. Was on the PC,
but I've yet to play it. So, my first experience with Alan Wake might be the remastered one, if that's the case.
You know what I may do, because I do have it on PC. I may load it up on PC, download a cheat, so that I don't have to worry about it, and then blow through it there, so she can experience the story. Or better yet, we'll just go to YouTube.
A recap. Yeah.
We'll let somebody else deal with that and go through the YouTube part of it. Because Alan Wake 2 is, as we got the news this week, finished. Well, no, not finished. It is playable and completely like they can play from beginning to end on it now.
Okay.
So Remedy has said that yes, Alan Wake, the progress on Alan Wake 2 is, we're chugging along at it. We can play it from start to finish now. We just need to refine and tidy up and make look good, and it'll be ready. I'm thinking for a fall release this year. The fall release window, we'll get a nice little trailer for it at the E3. Well, I say E3. They're going to have to change that name.
Yeah.
Again, because of news that nobody's going to E3. Nintendo is backing out. Sony is not going. Microsoft is backed out. And by backed out, I mean you're still going to get the little videos and things that happens during E3 week, but they're not attending the show floor. They're not going to have anything on the show floor. And I wonder how the ESA is going to pay for everything that they've got to pay for. They've bought that. I guess they never tied contracts into these people saying like, okay, we booked this building for ever so many years. You need to sign this contract saying that you're going to be there for ever so many years to show up and pay your dues and everything else to get the money. I don't understand how the companies got out of it if they didn't do it, and then I don't understand why the ESA didn't do it if that was the case.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't see it coming.
I don't think. Well, obviously nobody saw COVID coming. COVID was a weird thing, and that kind of shifted the paradigm. Shifted the.
It forced a change.
Yeah, it did.
It forced a change. That can we get our stuff out without having to deal with the going out and in this day and age,
everyone wondered.
And with the information age, we're like, yeah, actually we can.
But nobody wanted to test the theory. Nobody wanted to test that until, of course, COVID hit.
Like I said, it was forced.
Yeah,
we're forcing you to test it now. You got to get your product out, but you can't do it the way you've been doing it all this time.
Yep. And then what else did I play? I played Sifu. I just did I just did the tutorial. I'm not liking the way it's. Parts of it I don't like. I probably need to play more of it because I only did the tutorial, but the blocking aspect of it and stuff, I don't know that that's there for me. We'll see. I got it for $25 on a gift card to GameStop, so I'm not too worried about if it doesn't set its hooks into me or anything like that. So I believe that's what I played, Marvel Snap and my word games and stuff. So yeah, there we go with that. Anyway, we've got to take a break, and I'm going to answer this phone in the middle of the break. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat in just a moment. Music here from a game called Deliver Us Mars, which is a sequel to Deliver Us the Moon. This is called Primal Forces. That is the name of this track. We'll be right back right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music from a game called Wanted Dead. Space Runway is the name of that track. Anyway, let's go to the phones and talk to Chris. Hey, Chris.
What's going on?
Not much. What's going on, man?
Not too much. So RJ didn't have no luck with his PC, huh?
Nope.
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 So you're thinking now it must be something on the actual
Probably the case itself.
You don't think it's going to be the motherboard?
We swapped out the motherboard with another one, and the same problem occurred. And then we switched out the processor on the motherboard. The same issue popped up. Everything's been tested. Power supply's been tested. Swept that out with another one, and the same thing happens. Same thing happened. So after everything we've tried, all we've got left is the case. It's the only thing that wasn't checked.
We say that. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the only thing you could probably do is just rig it up some way where you could connect everything together and not have it in the case to see if it works then.
Yeah. I got an old case I can try, see if it'll work. If not,
that's just weird. I mean, it's worked all this time, and
yeah, like I said, it was I was doing normal computing,
really,
and it just
weird, unless it's
popped
ground,
off.
something with the ground on the. Yeah, I don't know. That's just completely weird, and because normally, unless it was some type of short or a surge that caused something to short out on the case.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, it's going to be it's always still, and just there's no movement in the case whatsoever.
Yeah. So go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if this works, but if this doesn't work, then it's time for another build to start gathering equipment. A little earlier than I wanted, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up, Chris? What's going on with you?
Well, I finished God of War and all, and I didn't feel like doing all the extra chores and stuff. I was pretty well satisfied with the story, so I went ahead and beat it and uninstalled the game so I could move on to other things. But yeah, you were talking about when the story line event, the major change in the story event and everything. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I wish I could remember which part, without being spoilery. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could remember that.
It was two different things that happened at the same time. Two different.
Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. I remember. There is
one of the things you had to pick up the bottom of your jaw off the floor because you didn't see it coming.
Right.
From 5 miles away.
See, that's why there's a task in the after game, I guess if you want to call it that,
where you can visit him.
Just
leave it at that. Yeah, I'm probably going to just watch videos and see what that, because I met him and found him once, but I may just, like you said, for the other content and stuff, just go to YouTube like y'all are wanting to do with Wendy on the other game content you were talking about earlier.
No, it's not. It's pretty good. There's this whole thing you have to go through and whatever. It's not. It's honestly not. Well, I say it's not difficult. I was massively leveled at this point, but yeah. So
I ended up freeing him, and I met him one time in one area, but I just figured I'll just watch YouTube and pull that up and see what happens if I and just save the time from doing that.
Not much to it, although I guess maybe I should go. I don't know. There may be some extra dialogue in other parts of the game now that event has taken place, and I've freed that person. But I don't remember. I don't know. So it's just there's little things to go back to and check out, but they're really. I think right now, I'm done. I think that's it for me. As far as God of War, I think I've finished it off. So.
Yeah.
So what have you moved on to now? What are you playing now?
I don't know, something else right now. I want to maybe play a little bit of 7 Days to Die or catch up on some stuff on the anime Crunchyroll subscription thing. The backlog of that, watch some things on that or YouTube stuff or something else to move on to. Maybe some of these games I got on PlayStation last year during on sale and everything during that time of the year at Black Friday and all that. Maybe go on to something else. So who knows? Yeah,
I've got. I kind of want to jump back into Hi-Fi Rush because I only played the beginning of that game and got to a hub area, and I need to go through that. So there's that, and then what was there was another there was I have Gotham Knights. I got that on the cheap on PC, but I haven't done anything with it. I heard Returnal is a great PC port. I've heard the port for Returnal is just, and the fact that it's on PC, you can play it with a mouse and keyboard, and it is just spectacular to play that way. It gives you that
way to play it.
Yeah, it gives you that twitch, that sort of, the way you can move around with a mouse and a keyboard to aim and move with is unparalleled as far as going towards a controller. Now, I know you can set controllers to be pretty well, pretty good.
But nothing beats the mouse and keyboard, especially
for me.
Doing that. Yeah.
For me, it doesn't. My muscle memory or my instinct or whatever is built for that, not a controller. And apparently, it plays really, really well on PC. So that's something, I never picked that up. I had the opportunity to, but that's not one I picked up. I feel kind of bad for picking up for Horizon Forbidden West because we're getting that on PlayStation Plus next month. So
yeah, same here.
I know, a year old and they finally put it on PlayStation Plus. It's not something I saw coming. I honestly did not think that they would be that fast
really did.
to put it on PlayStation Plus. And for like the plebes like, us, who don't have the other higher tier subscriptions, but we have that little base subscription. We getting fed next month because Horizon Forbidden West is a big chunk of a game to give as a freebie to your subscription service. Yeah. Something I just didn't see Sony doing, which is why I bought it over the Black Friday holiday. And now it's like, I should not have done that.
And, of course, all the other things we've been through and the people collecting the big collector's edition and not getting a physical game, and then, like me, doing that and getting the God of War and not having a physical disc and then buying the standard edition, like that for, to play through, and then on down the road, and then it's going to be coming to PlayStation Plus. So, like, nothing makes you want to give Sony, a couple birds, huh?
I mean, I'm okay.
That's in the end, but
Yeah, I mean, that's on a personal perspective because I'm okay with digital. I'm okay with digital wares.
I don't mind. I mean, I would have. If I'd known this, I would have probably waited and just waited and played it on PlayStation Plus when it came down the road. But like we had no idea something like that would ever come around like that.
I figured it was going to. I just didn't figure it would be this soon.
Yeah.
I knew it would eventually make it there. I think Ratchet and Clank will eventually make it there. I think Returnal will eventually make it there. Returnal is currently on one of the upper tiers where you can play the game as long as you're subscribed to that upper tier. But this one where it's like the base level subscription here, you can have this game. It's fantastic. So, I'll be playing that. There's a couple of indie titles that I'd like to play and that are coming out pretty soon. They're mostly PC titles, and off the top of my head, I don't have them for you. I'd have to look them up, but yeah, there's a lot of independent title type things. Shadow something, I can't remember what it's called. It's a PC title, but side scroller type thing. Really, really kind of really cool type of thing. There's some detective stories that are in there as well that look really cool that are coming out that kind of drawn my eye a little bit. There's a music for a game that's coming up that I've heard about and I'm kind of interested in to see how it plays. It's called Inculinati? I don't know. You'd have to look that up. But it's something about drawing I don't know. Actually, I don't know. It looks interesting enough that I kind of want to look further into it to see what it's about. So stuff like that. What?
Ink-based strategy straight from medieval manuscripts?
Right. So figure that out, how it turns into gameplay.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Okay. Inculinati is an ink-based strategy straight from medieval manuscripts where a rabbit's bum can be deadlier than a dog's sword. Become a master of the living ink, build your own bestiary, defeat medieval superstars, and collect perks to unleash hidden powers.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Right? The whole view, the whole aesthetic of it's kind of interesting. So I'm a little drawn to it.
Like you can really be creative in it and kind of.
Maybe, I don't know. It's not Scribble Knots.
Yeah.
Or something along the lines of something similar like that, or one of the aspects of that where you can kind of create your own stuff or something. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
No clue.
If you're looking it up, folks, it's INKULINATI.
Yeah.
I'll put a link in the
Inculinati.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the chat.
How I'm going with it. Hey, Chris, we got to run. We went way long that first segment.
Before y'all go on the break, you think we can get together next weekend or something where I can come in and bring a few of the items I got? I got a massive haul from my buddy that's into the Japanese laser disc. I got some import games and stuff, and I could bring a few of the things and to show y'all if that would be possible.
It's very possible. We'll talk during the week.
Okay.
On the Facebooks.
But yeah, even some of the stuff, I got some rare old PC games that are on 3.5-inch floppy, 5 1/4, and cartridge for the MSX old PCs. You know, very rare stuff, and some of them like people are wanting like $100 for it. But I can bring a few things, but it took up the whole corner of the living room. It's a massive haul. I mean, massive. But I got a fantastic price on it. I can just tell y'all later on, when that time comes around. But yeah, like pennies on the dollar, as he would say.
All right. Well, just get with me during the week. We'll talk about it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, man. Take care.
Take
All
care
right, y'all have a good one.
You too.
See ya.
All right, let's go to break. This is Inculinati is the game. The music piece is called Draw Your Quills. I don't know what that means. I don't know how it means in the game, but that's what it is. And we'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is music from a game called Fashion Police. Or no, Fashion Police Squad. And I guess the name of the track is Getting Down to Business. I don't know, but it was something released this week, I guess, or a game that had been released before and then got released on other platforms this week. So I found music for it, and I was going to use it, so that's exactly what it did. So there. We have another phone call real quick. Hi, you're on In-Game Chat. Who's this?
Biloxi Gambler.
What is up? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. Are we ready to go now? You put me on hold.
No, you're good. We're on the air.
Good.
We're on the air live.
Good. Okay. Hey, have you thought about the power cord, RJ, or the plug that it's in, or the surge suppressor before you go to a case?
Let's see. We switched the power supply out.
And that would include the cord?
That would include the cord, I would imagine, right?
Including the cord, yeah.
What about the outlet at the wall?
I haven't checked that, but it's in the same surge protector. It's been in all this time. So I'll probably switch the, based on your suggestion, I'll probably switch that out and see what happens. But we had a different cord with a different power supply, and the same issue popped
there
up.
Could have been a lightning thing or something that messed the power supply or the outlet up.
Yeah.
With all the storms we've had. I don't know. So that's the only thing I got.
Is anything else plugged into the outlet or the surge protector?
Yeah.
Is that working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It may not be as sensitive as a computer, though.
You're right. You're exactly. I mean, when a computer's involved, it could be just about anything.
Yeah. I'll give it a shot, though. Yeah, I'll swap it out and see why not. Yeah.
Do you still want this processor, or are you pretty convinced that it's not the processor anymore?
No, I'm going to use my processor because the exact same thing happened. So yeah, we're gonna try it again.
Nah, you good? All right.
Yep.
So what's been going on, man?
Okay, so The Devil in Me and the Quarry I saw where they dropped in price for the physical copy. And really, I want to do the download off PlayStation. And so I looked, I said, okay, well, it probably dropped there. Nope, it ain't dropped there yet.
No, it's hard. Digital rarely gets deals, man.
Yeah.
Because when you go digital, it's almost entirely going into the pocket of
Pure profit.
It's almost pure profit. When you're paying, when you're buying a physical thing, then the retailer gets a cut and all this other stuff goes. And so they rarely discount the stuff when you buy it digitally because that cuts into their profits. So yeah. Well, you don't.
It looks like you would decrease the price on the download before you would the physical copy.
No. You're going to pay for the convenience of that, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, I paid for it because I'd like to play The Last of Us, I think is what it's called.
Really?
And I've got the physical copy, and I've already played it or tried to play it, and then I moved on to other stuff, and then now that it's on HBO or whatever, I go, okay, well, I'd like to play that game. Well, I can't find the disc. I said, okay, that's it. I'm going all digital.
It's good to know, though. It's good to know that it's on. They got a show on TV, and you're like, I'm going to play that. It's nice to know. Yep. That show's been doing great, man. This past episode from last week was fantastic again.
I hear about it. Yeah. Hey, I got one stupid question, I guess, or maybe not stupid, but it's the last question.
Yeah.
What about? Okay, I've got like a sign-in for an Apple computer and for an iPad and a laptop and all this stuff, right? Okay, but then I had one that was unplugged for since 2007. So when I try to get back into it, it wants me to type the password. Well, the password on my other stuff, including my cell phone, it just shows me the asterisk. Is there any way to make it show me what the letters are?
Oh, you mean it's not showing you the password?
Yeah. Right. It
doesn't show me
the password. It remembers the password, so I don't have to.
When did that option pop up that always said you show password?
I don't know.
It was a.
I always say yes, but it ignores me.
Huh.
That's a
good.
good.
I also always say remember my password, and that's for everything. I've got 6 pages of passwords.
Goodness.
I hate this password stuff. I've got a friend that works for a DoD contractor. She's a software engineer, and she works for NASA and a DoD contractor. Does high-level projects. She told me when she graduated school, when she started, the first thing they taught her was to forget everything you know because they didn't use any language whatsoever that they teach in college. They have a whole brand new stuff,
yeah.
and it's constantly changing. She's very smart, though. But anyway, I don't know why she's hanging out with me, but everybody makes mistakes. All right, guys, I appreciate it. If you think how I can find out what the password, if there's any way I can find out what the password is, let me know. I'd like to get this other thing running.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See you, man.
Hey, take care now.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It wasn't too long ago when I started seeing the show password option when putting in a password. I'm pretty much the same way. I mean, I have passwords galore, but I keep them separate from the computer.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one. I don't know. I'd probably have to physically be in front of it and mess around with it and see what I could do, but I don't know. And even then, I can't be certain that I'd be able to do anything about it. So. All right, so we've talked about what we both played, and now we can run across some news here. A report saying that Nintendo Switch is officially the 3rd best-selling console of all time. Congratulations, Nintendo. It's ahead of PlayStation 4 and the Game Boy. The 3rd best-selling console of all time. PlayStation 2 and the Nintendo DS are the ones in front of it. PlayStation 2 at number 1 with 155 million. The Nintendo DS at 154 million. The PlayStation or the Nintendo Switch, what did it have? 122. That's a big gap between second and third compared to first and second is only off by 1 million.
Yeah.
Second and third's off by a good many million.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go from there, PlayStation 4 was 117 million and Game Boy's 118 million.
Yeah.
So again, you're close there, but there's some big gaps in the middle there. I only bring that up. Oops, I just closed a window I shouldn't have.
Oops.
Yeah, it's talking about Diablo 4. I only bring that up because the Nintendo Direct that we had this past, was it this past week or last week? I can't remember. It all blurs together. I think it was last week. We got a lot of stuff from that Nintendo Direct. Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot. We got Samba de Amigo Party Central. I don't know anything about it.
Rhythm
Kirby's, yeah, I know. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Bayonetta Origins, they talked about that. Master Detective Archives, Rain Code, whatever that is. Disney Illusion Island, multiplayer game with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy in, I suppose, their current artistic style, which is an interesting style, but still works. Pikmin 4 was shown off first. I can tell you what was shown off last, but we'll get to that part. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Expansion Pass was shown off. Fashion Dreamer, which looks to be just a... They basically took the fashion part of Animal Crossing, put real people involved with it, and I say real people, but, not whatever Animal Crossing has for people, and said, here, go ahead, go, design your own clothes, wear them, take pictures, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nothing I'm interested in.
Nope.
Tron Identity was announced, and I didn't see anything too much about it other than the fact that it is a decision-based adventure. So it's like a detective thing, but it's with Tron, and I love Tron. So I'm hoping that there's something good here.
So it's like a visual novel?
No, not, well, a lot of reading, but maybe not a visual novel. Not to that extent.
Okay.
It didn't seem like. Again, we didn't see much of this. This was a very quick tease on it. The other thing we saw was a game that apparently came out for, I want to say the 3DS by Capcom a long time ago, and then it turned up being a rare thing that people would pay a lot of money to get. A game called Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Basically, you're a detective that dies, and then your spirit tries to find out what happened to you.
Wasn't that on PlayStation a while back? Ghost Shattered Subjects or something like that?
I don't know. There was
plot.
There was Murdered Soul Suspect.
That's it. Yeah, Murdered Soul Suspects. The same plot.
Same plot, different mechanic as far as gameplay.
Yeah.
Because Murdered Soul Suspect was not very good. Ghost Trick looks really, really fun. Very puzzle-solvey type things with your little animated spirit thing that has to run through whatever. I really like it. It apparently released a long time ago, and now they're going to bring it over to the Switch.
Okay.
They talked about the Dead Cells expansion pass, Return to Castlevania, Deca Police. I don't know anything about that. Splatoon 3 DLC they mentioned. Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie. It's a stylish-looking visual novel, has you traveling between two worlds, siding with gods called Aspirations. Octopath Traveler 2. We Love Katamari, Reroll, and Royal Reverie. It's a lot of R's. Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection announced. Sea of Stars, which is a pixel RPG game from the creator of the Messenger game. Omega Strikers, which is soccer. And we got Game Boy games coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, by the way. Let's see. Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time. Don't know much about that. We were teased a new Professor Layton game on the Switch.
Okay.
I am here for that. I don't even care the setting. I am here for more Professor Layton. I loved Professor Layton on the 3DS, so I'm totally down for that. New Booster Course Pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. What is it called? Baten Kaitos? Baten Kaitos? Battenkaitos. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, something like that. Then we got a surprise announcement of Metroid Prime Remastered. Mm-hmm. It was a shadow drop. It was like, here's a trailer for Metroid Prime Remastered. By the way, it's available now. You can go to the store and download it. Physical copies coming next month, but here it is, ready for you to play. Yeah. And of course, they closed with Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which releases in May. And that was the big deal, was that we finally got a release date. And that is going to be May the 12th, I believe, which isn't too bad because prior to that, I think, is... Oh, man, it was in my head. Like the month previous, at the end of the month previous, is a release of something that's really not on a lot of people's radar. It's not really drawing a bunch of eyes to it, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember what it is, and I apologize. I was just reading about this yesterday. And the game that comes after it is, I want to say it's Street Fighter 6 in June. So a nice little chunk of time where there's nothing really coming out, and you can play your Zelda if you want to do that. Which reminds me, I should get through the first one, Breath of the Wild, before I jump into... not that you need to. Most of the time, Zelda games don't require you to have played any of the previous ones to understand. Right. They're very anthogicalistic, if that's even a word, and I don't think it is. So there you go. Had the Nintendo thing. I want to jump over to the Diablo 4 news that just came out today. The open beta and early access have been announced. The early access will be from March 17th through March 19th, so you get a weekend to play that. That session is exclusive to players that pre-purchased Diablo 4. The open beta, which runs from the 24th to the 26th of March, is available to everyone. So the open beta, late March, the early access with a pre-order, mid-March. And I want to say that Blizzard says the two sessions will offer players a deep look into the early game, including the prologue and the entirety of Act 1, and a level cap of 25 will be in place. That makes me wonder, are they going to reset you when the game releases, or will it carry over? I feel like if you pre-ordered the game and get into the early access, I feel like that should carry over. If you play the open beta and then buy it during the open beta, then it carries over?
I'm thinking they're going to reset.
Possibly. There's no multiplayer, though. Diablo has no multiplayer. There never feels like there's a race to...
Will there be any installed later, you think?
Never has before.
Never has before.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
As far as I know. Plenty of Diablo people to call me out on that if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have anything like that. So... I'm looking here. The full price game, which is already confirmed to feature the likes of paid cosmetics store and a live service elements, including a regular season pass, launches on June 6th. Oh, so we get Street Fighter 6 and Diablo 4. Mm-hmm. It's not saying anything about. It's not saying anything as to what's going to happen, like with your progress.
Yeah.
But I feel like that seems a pretty good stipulation. Look, if you send us money during this time or sent us money before this time, your progress can carry over. Okay. Sure, why not? And if you play the open beta and you really like it, then why not throw us some bucks and we'll carry your character's progression over into the real game or into the final game. Why not? I kind of like that idea, but that's just me. What else do we have? Oh, God, the day before. This has been a fun little thing, and I really should just edit together an audio thing of the list of things that have gone on with this game. Mm-hmm. Day before was announced years ago, and screenshots were shown.
Okay.
Like, all right, fine, show us some gameplay. Nothing. Heard nothing. Then we saw something pop up on Steam for it, saying, like, oh, well, there's day before. Okay. No footage, but a lot of people are still like, is this even coming out? I mean, is this even a game? What is this? Is this some kind of vaporware? What is this thing? And there's a lot of people who are very skeptical about the fact that maybe there's no game behind here.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's all reused assets to make a game from something else. Because the company's brand new. The development company is brand new. As far as we know, nobody that we know of from any other companies have been putting this stuff in. So they released, they had promised they were going to release a gameplay video. They kept backing up. They also kept pushing the release date from this time to this time to this time, just kept going. With nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing to show for it. So then they were going to show some video. Then they said, no, we can't show you video because their Steam page got taken down. And that was some kind of BS they threw out as to why that got taken down. And I would go through it again, but a lot of it doesn't add up. They talked about trademark infringement. Which is weird because the game's been announced for years now, but apparently, according to what we can access, the trademark was filed like 7 days before they were going to do this gameplay reveal. So this year is when the trademark was filed. Yet they had already come up with the name years and years ago and didn't make any move on it. They showed off 10 minutes of gameplay. Was nothing. It was just walking through the streets. There was some gunfire and some like going into houses and searching things, but it was boring. There was nothing solid there. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing that was, where's your hook? Where's your loop? Where is there loot here? Is there, when I kill people, do they drop something? Like there's nothing. There was nothing there. Which is why a lot of people are thinking they're just borrowing assets from other games or something like that. They built this specifically for this 10-minute thing, and this is what they had because they didn't have any time to make anything else. Then the trademark, by the way, comes from some kind of calendar app called The Day Before. Again, just one of these things as to like, why didn't they do this? Anyway, it's been a massive roller coaster ride for the day before this game. The game used to be Steam's second most wish-listed game. They're also calling out disinformation and lack of fact-checking in discussions about the game. One of their Twitter feeds says disinformation needs to be dealt with as it can not only harm us, but also other indies and small medium studios, and highlights the negative mental impact on members of such teams. They never pointed out which disinformation specifically that they were talking about. It's not too hard to guess. After a long train of strange mishaps involving a bizarre trademark dispute, an 8-month delay, and accusations of copied game trailers, it's not hard to find people online that have concluded the game is some kind of scam. It doesn't seem to have helped. The responses to the tweet weren't exactly won over by the studio's intervention, with many of them engaging in mockery or straight up accusing the devs of lying. Meanwhile, after several users employed the company to orchestrate its marketing better, it was revealed that it doesn't have a marketing department at all. It does promise to improve communication and transparency in the future, though. It got a similar response in other corners of the internet. The consensus on Reddit seems to be that the studio would have been much better off staying silent, and that the statement has only made things worse. This is the worst dev statement I have ever seen when people have leveled so many allegations against you, said one user. While the top-rated comment from somebody else says, it's just very funny how everything they do makes this game seem more and more fake. Exactly. Every time they try to defend this, it backfires. I don't know. I'm not taking pleasure in this. I just don't understand what they were trying to do. And the more they trip over themselves, or at least the more they get called out on things, I don't understand why they don't address them. Why don't they come forward with something that answers every single one of the skeptics? And usually if you can't do that, there's a problem.
Yeah.
There's something wrong there. So, yeah, I don't know. We have another phone call, by the way. And we're about to have to go, but I don't want to keep them on hold any longer. Hi, who's this? You're on in-game chat.
It's me. It's Chris again. I don't know if the beta for Diablo 4 is supposed to be single player, but no, all the games have always been multiplayer.
Well, multiplayer, but not player versus player.
I think.
Right?
I think they are going to have player versus player. I think it's going to have certain areas where I think that's going to be part of it because the fourth one is going to be online only.
True. But
So
Diablo 3 and 2 and the first one, though, it never had player v. player, did it?
I think 3 did have some in there, and I think 4 is going to have it too, but it's going to be optional where, if you want to, or, it's going to be up to players, and they're going to have certain areas where you can do that.
Okay. Well, maybe then. And so that may be a problem depending on, if your rank in PvP is different than your rank in single player, that could be a possibility where the things in single player don't carry over into multiplayer and multiplayer doesn't carry over into single player. Could still be a thing. I don't know why I'm trying to defend it. I'm not really.
I
I'm just
think
saying.
everything, as far as regular gameplay, would all be on the same one. If you just want to do single player, you do a private game or something, or just play by yourself. But I think all the data and basically your character stats is going to be all the same, regardless if you're doing multiplayer on there or single player, since you have to be online anyway.
You've pre-ordered this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right, man.
I'm going to probably end up waiting until the game comes out to play it anyway.
That's not bad. That's not a bad thing to do. So.
Give me more time to do something else, I guess. But y'all have a good one then.
All right, man.
All right, now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I appreciate the clearing up on that. I swear I don't remember it having the PvP, but I guess it does. Mm-hmm. We got to take a break here because we're at the bottom of this hour, and we're gonna be on time for this thing. A funny thing happened on the way to update the Division 2, and we'll tell you about that when we come back. Here is music from Hogwarts Legacy, which I guess is the name of that game, right?
Yeah.
I've sort of, I've been weird about playing the game. First off, I'm not a Potter person. Mm-hmm. I know it enough to know what some things are, but I imagine a lot of the terminology in the game, probably every single Easter egg in the game, is going to just right over my head.
Over your head, yeah.
It's going to go right over my head.
Yeah.
However, I watched a video for the game while I was doing my exercise the other day, and it opens on broom flying. And it looked really, really good. I was not being hooked into a lot of it. I was like, man, this Hogwarts game looks like it would be a lot of fun to play. Mm-hmm. But I haven't read any reviews on it. I've just seen the numbers climb for this thing, the amount of sales that it's doing, breaking records on Twitch for how many people are watching it.
It's got a 9 out of 10 on Steam right now.
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
When I was looking for music, which is where I go to Metacritic to see what is released. And, of course, this one has a must-play badge on it because of how well it's been received. Yeah. And I get that. That's fine. It's just set in a world that I don't particularly know. I don't want to say like or dislike. You're just not
familiar with it.
It's not a familiar world to me.
So, yeah.
But it's a pretty world. Mm-hmm. It's a really, really pretty world. Mm-hmm. And I love some of the things that they're doing here where you can decorate your own space. You can customize your own wizard or whatever.
Yeah, student.
And then the broom riding, which I understand is like broom, whatever. It was just really, really nice. It looked like it felt
Is it right up there with swinging in Spider-Man?
Yeah, but more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spider-Man is up and down because you arc, everything is arced.
Yeah.
And so this I would put this more at
Afterburner.
No. Oh, it makes it funny to think about it going like that. Mm-hmm. But just sort of basically Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
Okay.
Put me on my horse, just let me go.
Okay.
And look at the scenery. Get me on my broom and let me just fly around the area.
All right.
And just look at the scenery. It looked great.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of Flight, and I was thinking Afterburner.
Yeah.
But yeah, something but calm and relaxing then for the broom riding.
I mean, yeah, sort of. But when they were showing it off, I was like, oh man, that looks really, really good. That might be the one that tips me over to jump into this thing. It hasn't yet because once that goes away, once that video stops playing and I move on to do something else, I'm like, I can wait.
Yeah.
I can wait.
Yeah.
Again, that's something as well that doesn't have any multiplayer aspect to it or any DLC or any kind of microtransactions.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's something that it's not something I need to jump into right now. I get the zeitgeist is all over it right now. It's the big thing. It's the thing to play.
It's the hot new product right
yeah,
now.
it's the new hotness. And so I get that. But I can still wait.
Yeah.
I've missed lots of new hotnesses before.
Oh, yeah, same here, man. How many times does something come out brand new, $60, and then by the time you get around to it, it's like $5?
Well, look I thought I was missing the new hotness with Forbidden West.
Yeah.
So I bought it at a deal on Black Friday. Turns out I just had to wait. And I still haven't played it, by the way.
Right.
Turns out I could have just waited,
Yeah.
and I'd had it for free.
Yeah.
I know they offer refunds for those games, but I think it has to do with you've got a certain amount of time. You either have 24 hours after you've played it or something like that, or 14 days from the day of purchase if you haven't installed it or something. I'll look into it, though, because it'd be nice. If I can get that back, I'd totally get the credit back. It was at $30. So I would totally do a switch off on that since I'm going to have it there, but I don't think it's going to happen. This is music from Hogwarts Legacy. It's called Overture to the Unwritten, and we will be right back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. I know I clicked that button. And welcome back to In-Game Chat music from Seasons. The name of that track is called Colossal. Sorry, I was playing a Marvel Snap game in the middle of the commercial break there. They don't take long to play, really, depending on the other player. I don't know if that's the connection. I don't know if it's the game itself taking that time to do all that stuff. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, what the hell are you waiting for on the other end of the person? Because, I mean, I know the move that I'm almost immediately know the next move that I'm making.
Yeah.
Not because you got to think that far in advance, but I got that kind of time. Because once I've played my card, I'm like, okay, where am I going to play my next card? You know? And then when it gives me my next card in my hand, I make adjustments based on that. Do I want to play that one now, or oh, this is good? What It's a quick little thing. Place your cards, go.
Yeah.
Oh, people take forever. I don't know if they're waiting for you to kind of back out because you're getting frustrated with waiting on them. That's a strategy.
Yeah, it is.
It's an annoying one, but that's a strategy. Oh, Bama Brian says If you're not into Harry Potter, I doubt you'll enjoy Hogwarts Legacy. Well, good. Okay. I'm glad you said that. A lot of the reviews that I've looked into as far as the video reviews and stuff have kind of, they kind of soured on a few things with it, but also that, hey, it's a really nice looking game and there's some great things going on.
Yeah.
There's some bad things going on with it too, but not bad enough to really put you at not bad enough to kind of sour the experience.
Right.
Combat's kind of simplistic. They turned your wand into a gun, which sure, that's fine. They've built this whole thing around this universe that doesn't really involve guns, but they still had to find the old tropes of gaming, right? Like combat and stuff, and you can still
shoot magic,
pew pew out of your wand. Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. All right, so the Division 2. This is kind of heartbreaking, also funny.
Heartbreakingly funny.
It's just there's people still playing the Division 2. Okay. I played it for a little while in some downtime with Destiny and stuff. I played it for a little bit back on the old Ubisoft stuff. It's on Steam now, but anyway, they went to go update the game, and they updated it, but it broke it. Not only did it break the game, it broke their ability to update the game further. So now they've got to figure out how they can get in there and fix this so that they can fix that aspect so that they can update the game.
So they got to fix the fix.
But they can't get into it to fix the fix because it won't let them it won't let them update the game anymore. So I don't know what they're going to do about it.
Hard reset.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
I'm not sure. I don't know what they're going to do.
Something's got to be deleted.
Ubisoft having some serious issues. Last week they announced that it delayed the planned the February 7th launch of Season 11 due to a localization issue. Then they admitted that in creating a fix for the localization issue, it caused an error that brought down the game's build generation. That means the development team cannot update the game at all until the system is rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part. It's funny that it's like the thing you built to fix the thing broke it.
Yeah.
And broke it in such a way that you can't build anything to fix it.
You can't undo what you did.
Right. Yeah. So
you're stuck with
there's
it
a little
right
humor
now.
in that, but it's heartbreaking because of, I know they're putting in time on this. In other cases where you've got situations where a game is, I don't want to say greedy, but takes advantage of its players or something like that. Sure.
Right.
We can laugh at this and point and say, ha ha. This isn't one of those games. They weren't trying to really do anything to you as far as rob you of anything. Mm-hmm. This was a nice legacy game. It's been around for a while. It's a sequel to a pretty successful Tom Clancy game. Mm-hmm. And I know they worked hard on it, and I know a lot of people play it. So both the players are now at a disadvantage, as are the developers at a disadvantage.
Yeah, nobody wins in this one.
No.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? I don't know.
Yeah. I am interested in finding out what exactly caused it to happen. I mean, if it was like some errant line of code or a bad keystroke.
I don't think they can get in there and figure it out.
Yeah.
Ubisoft can't even extend activities from the previous season while it sorts all this out. Why? Because it can't make any updates to Division 2 at all until the build generation system has itself been rebuilt. We are working to resolve the situation as quickly as possible, said a rep. We deeply appreciate your understanding and patience, and will share our in-game compensation plan details soon.
That's going to take a while.
It finally launched on Steam in January.
Mm-hmm.
So it finally had this brand new audience of people to play the game, and that was in January. Mm-hmm. We're in February. It took them a month.
Yeah.
However, when it launched in January, that was 4 years after it originally came out.
Mm-hmm.
This is a legacy title. It's been around for a while. So, yeah. It's just, I don't know what they're going to do. They got to take the game offline and God knows how long in order to do this whole thing that they're going to have to do, and they don't want to take the game offline. I don't know. I don't know how you resolve that. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
Hey, this is Trucker Al.
Trucker Al?
Yeah, buddy. How you doing?
How's it going, Trucker Al?
Oh, man, just heading down the road as usual.
Yeah, where are you?
I am on the way from Auburn down to Brundage to the Walmart DC down there. I've got a load of candy to drop off for them. So
nice.
There you go.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you doing that. What's on your mind?
Okay, this is a little bit off of the beaten path of what you guys talk about, but the ACV app. When I try to run it, it'll play about 5 minutes and then it stops, and I have to pause it and restart it. Is there any way to fix that?
Yeah, I don't know. We've heard of this before, and honestly, we thought we had it fixed. I don't know what phone. What kind of? Are you on an iPhone or an Android?
No, it's an Android. It's a Galaxy S10.
Okay, I can't test an Android, although we've got somebody else here who does have one. Our engineer actually does. I listened on our iPhone on the app, and this was weeks ago. I listened for a full hour, had no problem whatsoever.
So it must.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, I that was on an iPhone, and I think our engineer's on an Android here, or Samsung. He's got a Samsung phone, which might mean it's an Android. And I don't think
That's what I've got.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know that he's got the same problem either. And I thought we initiated a fix for that, but apparently we didn't, because you're still having that problem. And I don't know what the situation. I don't know what the problem would be. I really don't.
Okay.
I know that I'm not having it on having the problem on an iPhone, and that's not the solution. Just to get rid of your Android and go get an iPhone. So yeah, that's not the solution to it. But I hope that we can find one for you.
Okay, well, that's fine. The reason I asked, because 93.1 is all I listen to when I'm driving.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
And for years, I have listened through TuneIn Radio.
Yeah.
And now they're throwing in 2 or 3 ads every hour. And it cuts in and overrides everything you guys are doing. My phone don't buffer to pick back up, where it cut in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss a lot of stuff because of it. That's the reason I was asking. But anyway, so it sounds like it may just be something with the Android. But I'll keep trying it and see, what happens.
Yeah, and I'll reach out to our engineer again and let him know that situation obviously is still going on, and either get in touch with the right people for it or see what we can do about it for you. So, but I appreciate you calling and letting us know, man.
Okay, Joe Bear. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you...
Which Samsung Galaxy is on what now? The S22?
I have no clue. I told you I'm an iPhone guy, so I don't pay attention to the other stuff.
Let's see. Yeah.
I barely pay attention to the iPhone stuff. The 15 got leaked as far as the design, but
Yeah.
that's a maybe if that's the case, but I don't know. God, what else do we have?
Yeah, the S23. Jeez. This is every year, every 6 months now. Goodness.
Yeah, the Metroid Prime, the original developers of Metroid Prime did not get a credit in the Metroid Prime remaster, and they are not happy about that.
Excuse me?
I don't know what this does not look good on Nintendo's part. Yeah, the Metroid Prime devs say the remaster credit snub is shameful. And I do not know why they don't get any sort of... They don't even need compensation, just credit. Just give them a mention that they did what they did. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. There was other news that I would love to go into, especially when it's involving Microsoft and the purchase of Activision Blizzard, because they are running into some issues there. And I believe in the next couple of weeks, they're going to be going to court in the UK to deal with this aspect of it, and likely going to be going into some kind of court here to deal with it as well here in the States. Because apparently Sony and maybe some others have raised enough red flags to, get the government to look into this.
Yeah.
And say, well, let's say, don't know about that.
Yeah. Y'all can't let this happen because X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
Which I don't understand that. I don't get it. No, I do.
Someone's profit's going to get jacked. That's why.
Right. I do get it. I do understand it.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why you step in here, but you don't step in other situations. Google buys things all the time, and they don't seem to step in on that.
That's their profits. This is our profits.
I get it, but this is.
What has it always been about? I've always
I know
told
it's.
you
I
what
know it's always about profit.
Man. Come on.
But look, I don't understand why. I guess I just don't get why they're doing it on this level. Mm-hmm. I don't see any reason why they're buying this company had anything different from any other of the companies they bought. I get it; it's a bigger company. I understand that, but only because it's dipping into Sony that they have raised their red flags, that they have brought out their bullhorns and have yelled to get the attention.
Yeah,
but other people have called out other things before. And the government still doesn't step in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why they're looking at this. Again, I have no dog in this hunt type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We get it.
Outside of the fact that Activision right now and Bobby Kotick is a horrible person to work for and a horrible company to work at. Mm-hmm. And I would look forward to anybody who is coming along saying we're going to buy that company and fix things. I'm perfectly fine with that. And I don't care that it's Microsoft. I don't care if it was Sony. Go right ahead. Get rid of that man. Get rid of all that bad stuff. Do something better for the people that work there and then also for your consumers as well. So, I don't know. Anyway. He wants it to happen, or Bobby Kotick wants it to happen. He went on.
Just make sure he's just going to make sure he gets his cut, though.
In this room, we keep the TVs on. Like, one TV is financial business, and then the other one's news. And I sit in this room that's got a window to only see the financial screen.
Yeah.
So Bobby Kotick was on doing an interview.
Yeah.
And apparently, I got news from that interview. He says the UK will become Death Valley, and I don't understand what he means by that. And I'm not going to open up the article because we don't have the time. But he says, Bobby Kotick says UK will become Death Valley if Microsoft purchase isn't approved. Like, he wants it to go. He's got a nice little parachute coming out of that thing.
Yeah.
300 million, did we say? Something like that. So, yeah. But we're running short on time, and we have another phone call. Hi, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
The trucker can try turning Bluetooth off in the settings and just running it off your LTE data. That works for certain problems. If you're within range of your Bluetooth router, then I would lose the signal. But I found if I just turn Bluetooth off, then I can roam around anywhere, and I never would lose the app. But
really?
If anybody have a different situation, something to try.
Are you on an Android? Are you on an Android?
I'm on an iPhone.
Oh, you're on an iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, appreciate it, Bucks
Something to
Gabber.
try. I don't know.
I agree.
It works for me when I'm in hotels and elevators. Okay, bye.
Okay.
See you later.
Look, sometimes the simplest things is going to fix the whole problem.
Yeah, right. Like your plug.
Look, watch I go home and try this thing. And
with the plug?
And Biloxi's thing, it turns out it works.
After all that you went through, that'd be great if it did, though.
It would be.
That'd be,
my computer's up and running again. Good.
If it did, if it does.
If it does, yeah.
If it does,
I'll text you to let you know.
Yeah, do that. If it does, you text me and let me know. I'll get in touch with Biloxi Gambler, and we'll buy him one of those games digitally that he wants.
Yep.
Whether it be Devil and Me or the other one or Last of Us or something.
Yeah.
We'll get him one of those games if that works.
Yeah.
Just for throwing that tip out.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's going to do it for us, folks. We are running behind. Well, no, we're running low on time. We're not actually running behind. Doing pretty good. Want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat room, as well as everybody listening on the stream and on the radio as well. Want to thank everybody that called in. We had Biloxi Gambler, we had Chris, we had Trucker Al, all call in, and we just do appreciate you guys listening and calling in, and just joining us for the show. Go to ingamechat.net to find out ways to get in touch with us. Let me thank everybody in the chat room. Holy cow, there's a lot of names. O1 Ella, Oax2, Alice Dra, Alien Gathering, Bama Brian, Commander Root, Drapsnat, great name, Evans 041111, Kata, Lethal Migraine, Lonely Liza, Lucent Crown with a bunch of numbers, and then Lucent Crown with a bunch of other numbers, Mercurix, Multile, Ninatella, Nota Bodef 6, Random Man X. Oh, Random Man's in. Rogue Girl, Rooster Tax. That's a great name. Stephen Van Dam and Thar66 all hanging out in the chat room. Oh, Wendy goes in there, and AC Wraith are in there as well. So thank you all for joining us. Y'all have a great one, and we got music here from... Yeah, hi, Lurk. Yeah, I'll be on later. Well, I don't know if I'll be on tonight. I'll be on in the morning to run some Grandmasters, though. GoldenEye, music from the GoldenEye game. They got the re whatever that was put on the... Yeah.
Is Odd Job still OP?
Probably.
Yeah, most likely.
Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.